So the community has been going insane pretty much over the past couple of days of people speculating and debating all the different reasons about whether Halo Infinite will be delayed or not, and is the Series X going to get delayed, and are there production issues, and just all those kinds of things. And everyone has been debating about it lately, so I just kind of wanted to throw my 2 cents in there and just kind of talk about all the different things that have been going on, because this is the first time that I've really seen people kind of start to crack, I guess, with like news related to this game, because obviously the game was announced E3 2018, we had no info for a year, and then we got the opening cutscene, and then we've had no info since then, except for the only thing we've seen is the Xbox Series X trailer with that like 6-second clip of Chief in it, but that's just a promotional thing for Xbox in general, so it's not really relevant to the game itself. But we don't know if the game's going to get delayed or not, and there are a ton of things to look at if we think it will be. It pretty much comes down to, at least how I've been thinking about it, Halo, for the first time since 2001, is gonna be a launch title for a new Xbox, which is huge because obviously Xbox did terrible this generation and they need a huge game to sell their new console with. So obviously they have Halo Infinite, which is a huge deal, and it's pretty much the only big exclusive that people know about right now that people are looking forward to, because like I just said, this generation Xbox has had like nothing pretty much that people have been excited for, and they just released kind of mediocre exclusive after mediocre exclusive. So the fact that they are launching the Series X, or supposedly launching it with Infinite, is a huge deal. Now obviously, I don't think they're going to delay the Series X or the PS5 really into 2021. That just doesn't seem that likely, and from what I've seen, Phil Spencer also is set on releasing the Series X still in holiday of 2020, which is cool, except for the fact that how is that going to come into Halo Infinite's development and release and all that stuff. Even before everything with the virus started, we still, this wasn't really going on in January or February, we still had not heard anything about the game. So people were wondering even at the end of 2019 if there were production issues, and people are still speculating what's going on. It's concerning that we have not seen a single thing from this game. Now I have also seen people saying, since it is a Series X game, they have not revealed any gameplay for Series X games, so they're just kind of holding it close to the chest, which I do get, and I do feel like that's the most likely situation when it comes to gameplay, at least, for Halo Infinite. We haven't seen it because they haven't released any gameplay for any Series X games, and they just kind of want to wait to reveal it all in one big thing. However, that also doesn't really excuse the fact that we haven't seen anything besides that cutscene in the past 2 years. No, story information, no poster, no, we got the key art from E3 last year, I believe, but, pretty much nothing. So it just kind of begs the question, why is that, and is there any reason to be concerned about its release? And right now, I do kind of feel like there is, because even if the game was going at a steady pace, obviously now, they did say 343, they're like, we're still working on it, we're doing our best, but you still can only do so much working from home, and then that's not even taking into effect, we don't know how long this is all going to go on, but it could, obviously we just saw Last of Us 2 get delayed, for reasons such as production issues, and they just didn't feel like it was the right time to release it. But especially, although most sales now are digital for video games, there are still the people that buy the physical games. That is still a lot of money they make from that. And also you have to keep in mind the different editions, the limited and collector's editions that people all order. Once again, they can order that online and get it shipped to their house from Best Buy and Amazon and stuff like that. But there are still a large amount of people that like to physically go to their store and pick it up. And when you have that taken away because of the virus, in addition to all the production issues of making it when the virus is going on, not just the people, the game developers in the studio, but packaging it and making the discs and printing it and all that kind of thing, it is going to be a lot harder, especially since we don't know how long this is going to go on. So that is something to keep in mind, and for me right now, I'm gonna hope, and I'm still kind of on the fence about it, but I am gonna say that I think it will probably still come out in holiday of 2020 launching with the Series X, because if they don't have Infinite to launch the Series X with, that is going to be most likely a terrible launch for that console, and then they're just going to be back in the same boat they were in this generation. They need something strong to get them started with, so they can convince people, look, the Xbox One was kind of a fluke, and we're here this generation to make great games. They have 10 studios that Xbox owns now, so they should be making great exclusives all the time, so hopefully we'll see that with the new generation. However, that also begs the question, if it does end up coming out when the Series X launches, what quality will the game be in? Is it going to be a thing where we heard the rumors literally before Halo Infinite was even revealed, like in late 2017, that the game was going to release like multiplayer first and then campaign, or one or the other, and they may split up the release somehow. So if they do that, I also do not think that would be good. If it comes down to having that or no game, I'm honestly not sure. I feel like I'd almost rather wait for the game to just come out than have the campaign or the multiplayer, especially since one of Halo 5's biggest problems was that the game launched with 0 to no content. If they launch the next Halo game that's supposed to be a big soft reboot for the series and launching a new console and everything, and if they launch that and the multiplayer has 2 modes and they just launch the campaign, that is going to be terrible, and pretty much just like how that would put the Xbox in the same situation it was this generation, it will put Halo Infinite in the same situation Halo 5 Guardians was for this generation. So we just can't let history repeat itself. They need to launch the game as complete as they can, and hopefully that can be done launching with the Series X. Again, I don't know, like I said, how integral like being in person is to all their development, but it is, especially since making video games and stuff and game development is like such a team effort and everyone's in the office working together. You can still only do so much when you're all at home on like Zoom calls and stuff like that. You can only do so much, and especially from my experience using it like a ton in the past like 3 weeks, it is kind of a pain, and so much easier obviously when you're just in person and just making video games the way you've been doing like the entire time that 343's been making Halo games. So that is something to keep in mind, and that's just kind of my thoughts on all of it. I do hope Halo Infinite does end up coming out with the Series X. I think it has to. The only thing I'm worried about is that Microsoft's going to push 343 to release Infinite before it's really ready in order to get it launched out with the Series X. However, also part of me is thinking they wouldn't do that after seeing how poorly Halo 5 was received, since it had no content and clearly was not ready to come out when it was. Hopefully they don't let history repeat itself, and hopefully Infinite comes out as a complete package. Still though, we have seen pretty much nothing, and when we will see it, probably around E3. I think everyone was assuming they were going to do a giant reveal this year, probably take up like 20 or 25 minutes of the conference, or maybe even like 30 minutes, just talking about the game and all the details and pre-order stuff and game modes and a beta and all that stuff. And so that's like, I think what most of us are assuming. And we probably will still get that with some sort of Xbox digital event or something kind of like that in June. However, we also still know that they said literally years ago that they wanted to keep doing flight tests and betas for the game, and pretty much if you remember, Halo 5's beta was almost a year before the game came out, and I remember playing that, and it's pretty different compared to how the final game released, just some visual aesthetics and obviously some big gameplay changes. But even if they were, like, their original plan, clearly like I just said, was to do a big reveal in June, that still would only give them like 6 months at the most probably to launch that game, like to take people's changes into account and then implement them into the game, which doesn't seem like that would be very effective, especially with how much time they needed with the Halo 5 beta and how they've been using all the flights and MCC and stuff. So we'll just have to see, but that does worry me, because even before the virus started, I think there was a reason to be worried, and I still think we should be a little worried. I just have faith in 343 that what they've said in the past will come to fruition. However, what they've said in the past and kind of their actions over the past 3 years have not really been in line, so it is kind of concerning. Either way, I am excited, obviously, for Halo Infinite. I just want to see some gameplay, especially the E3 2019, where all of us were expecting gameplay, and we just got so sad when all we saw was that cutscene, and we all thought we were going to get more. And granted, I love that cutscene, but I still wanted so much more. I still want gameplay. And we just, like I said, we literally still know nothing about the game besides that it's going to be the new Slipspace engine, and it's coming out for PC and Xbox, and it has Master Chief, and that pilot's going to play some sort of role in it, and it might be semi-open world, and just all kind of rumblings, and there's going to be microtransactions, but no real money loot boxes, so just all little information like that we've kind of gathered over the past 5 years. But I really don't think they're going to delay Infinite into 2021, because that would be 6 years in between main titles, which would be insane for Halo, and I really don't think they're going to do it. However, I am also worried about the fact if they push Infinite to get released with the Series X, especially with all the production issues due to the virus, I am worried about how that could impact the final game. Either way though, I just wanted to throw my thoughts out there. Let me know what you guys think about this. Do you think Halo Infinite will be delayed? Do you think it will launch in a right state, especially if it's forced to launch with the Series X? Do you think the Series X is going to come out in 2021? And what are your thoughts about a big reveal in June coming to release all the information about Halo Infinite? And just let me know what you guys are thinking about all this. Thank you guys for watching. Majestic Gaming.